So, about 9 months ago is when I first heard the song Bathtub Gin, and I took a look at my master reaction sheet, which has every single reaction I've ever done on the channel. It's in the description box if you're curious. And I listened to Bathtub Gin 9 months ago, and it was my second time ever hearing Phish, and I just listened to like 5 minutes of that Bathtub Gin reaction, and I feel like cringing when I watch that video because since then, I feel like I have evolved so much as a music listener, not only as it relates to Phish, but just music in general, but certainly in the domain of Phish. And, today we are going to revisit the song Bathtub Gin. This time it's going to be a performance in '98. The version I heard up front was in August '97, so this is a July '98 one. I know how you guys feel about 90s Phish, so I'm happy to be bringing this reaction to y'all today. But before we jump into this, a massive thank you goes to Andy for making this reaction request. But now, let's jump into it. It's a bit of a long one, 24 minutes. Or in Phish terms, just a good old cup of coffee. I had 2 cups of coffee today. Bad idea. I think y'all know why. On the album cover it says 7:15, not 7:29 in the YouTube video. I'm gonna go with the album cover 7:15. Completely normal behavior. No page. No analysis needs to be done there. It's just chaos. But doesn't he make the chaos sound good?
Ladies in the bathtub, making soup for the ambassadors, and I'm in the hallway singing to the troubadours, and the kings are all lined up outside the gate, and the autumn bell is ringing, but they'll just have to wait. Where is the Joker? Have you seen him around with his 3-cone cap that he wears like a crown? Have you seen his striped stockings and heard his sad tale about the kids under the carpet and the purple humpback whale?
I can't tell if it's a good or bad thing that this no longer throws me completely off course.
Here come the ambassadors, they show up one by one. Fred is tasting all the soup to see if it is done. And Wendy's on the windowsill, waiting to be let in. And we're all in the bathtub now, making bathtub gin. When the kings storm the hallway, they've climbed up through the gate. They didn't mean to be impolite, but they just couldn't wait. Here comes the Joker with his silly grin. He carries a martini made of bat.
It's weird because it is a little difficult to hear Mike, but it's not that I don't hear him. It's just it's hard to disentangle his tone a bit from Page because Page is hitting those keys hard and he's like in that lower frequency range. So the blending of those notes is happening here.
With his silly grin, he carries a martini made of bathtub gin. Joker, we all must laugh, 'cause we're all in this together, and we love to take a bath.
somebody refer to Bathtub Gin as the song that like brings Phish fans together in this like shared euphoric experience. But then my thought was, well, isn't that most of Phish's music? But maybe something specific about Bathtub Gin invokes that feeling more so than other tracks. Not sure what the overarching view is on that. This is 28 years ago. They're tracing it over the top of that. I feel like this is one of the better songs to probably introduce someone to Phish, because it's light, there's a fun vibe about it, and it's kind of built around this like circular bouncing groove that naturally invites improvisation with that flair of whimsy. And this start stops too. A lot of character in that. Trey's phrasing is so elastic. There's nice coloring from Page. That melody settles in nicely. Just noticing now, but why does this character on the far right here of the cover look remarkably like POTUS? Yeah, POTUS. Jesus Christ. Not getting political. Not gonna do it. But Jesus Christ. sequence with Trey, Paige following it up behind, and Mike constantly just running around, never landing on a root note. That's what I love about Mike too, because he is such an expressive player, and bass is not an instrument that gets the attention that it deserves, just because there is a lot of flash in guitar, right? But in this particular moment, as like the pattern of Trey's playing kicks in, my focus has gone towards Paige and Mike more so. That I don't even know how we got here. But still centered around this just triplet descending pattern. Actually, 16 notes, 20 and 20 and 3 and 16th notes sound so interesting, dude. think of that, I think of type 1, type 2 error, and then my brain goes a different direction. Love hearing mainly John here actually with that froggy bass underneath. It's like a bit of a gallop pattern. I've been trying to think about this more and more lately, but like anytime I'm listening to Phish, I am really trying to like put a name to the specific emotions I'm feeling from moment to moment. And there's some obvious ones like euphoria. That's a term that I'll use often with Phish. And those moments will be extremely cathartic and will happen in more of the obvious places in their performances towards the end. There's other nuanced emotions too that sometimes I have a lot of trouble putting my finger on. Like, what exactly am I feeling in a section like this? And is there a thing that I'm meant to be feeling in a section like this? I don't quite have the label. What it feels to me is this just persistent energy. Like, if you've ever listened to like songs that are like boogie songs that just kind of loop, 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 keep you in that groove. You could dance your feet off. You don't have to think, you just have to exist. Maybe that's what it is, the feeling of just being fully present without knowing what's going to come next, even if you've experienced even if you've experienced a performance like this or listened to the same version of Bathtub Gin over and over. So I guess just leave it in the comments. What emotions run through your body when you listen to Phish? If you have specific labels, let me know. I may have to steal them. Whimsy is definitely one of them. Playfulness for sure. I've never brought this up before, but one time, like, my parents will watch my reactions on occasion. Not every single one, but they'll just click on the odd video that shows up in their subscription box. And one time my mom clicked on a Phish one and she sent me the clip, or I guess she sent me the link of my video, and like it was timestamped to a moment where I'm like freaking out, like not understanding at all what's going on. And she's like, "What are you listening to?" And when I played my video, it was my attempt to describe what I was listening to and failing miserably at it. And then I just told her, like, honestly, I don't know, but it's just so fun. And my mom, my parents in general, they just do not listen to music like this. So I've exposed them sort of indirectly to a lot of what we experience over here. I definitely inadvertently started them on the deep end. One of these days I'll have to do like reactions with my parents and my girlfriend and just other people in general, just so I can like do the sharing of reactions with people that I care about. Um, yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. Processing is like kicking into full gear right now. I have nothing else to say here. It's just so fun. I have the time of my life doing these reactions. It's almost in all of the instruments actually, but at different intervals. The drums have been the most consistently syncopated. Again, that galloping pattern. Amongst the marshy fish, the fishy marsh. It's just been persistently on the one. they're DJing, you know? Listen to Mike. Filthy drum rolls. The touch is softening. Do you remember when there were lyrics in this song? I just looked it up on the side here, but here are some people's on Reddit favorite bathtub gins. So your favorite bathtub gins? Question mark. I'll just scroll through for y'all. A lot of post 2000 performances. See any 98s? I'm gonna look for them. A 99 here, 93, 97. Oh. Dissolving. Tear it all down. Show's over, folks. Let it collapse into a dying star. Bathtub gin. Oof. Yeah. Please leave it in the comments. What are your favorite bathtub gins? It seems like the Reddits have not found a consensus. I feel like with other bands, normally there are anywhere between 2 and a maximum of 5 versions of a song performed live that get kind of passed around, and a lot of those other ones kind of fall through the cracks of time. With Phish, it is an absurd amount of variety that they have within their discography, and if you were to select any one track, you could just write dissertations on how that track evolves over time. And truly, like, if I had all the time in the world, that is pretty much exactly what I would be doing. I would be listening to every single possible version of every single song that there is out there, which sounds absurd, I know, but like that is like the super aspirational, optimistic Sohum living in like 15 dimensions above where I'm at right now, to be able to just absorb all of the world's music and kind of paint the mind map that I believe I have in my brain to describe the music that I'm experiencing. Because I think it's just so cool to view the progression of a group and their performance of a specific song longitudinally. You can always do the analysis within song or intra performance of the same song. And naturally too, there's other metrics you can use to judge how that song fits into the context of a certain concert set. Compare the sets as well. There's all kinds of cool analytical things that can be done. And it is weird to describe music in that way because music is art. It's very subjective. It's the way we experience it. So there's no true objective rating or measure we can ever really give. And part of what makes it difficult too to do this level of analysis is that when I'm listening to a Phish song, and I've actually done this, I'm not sure if I did this in a live stream, but there was a version of it was Stash and I think Manteca. I did a reaction to that long ago. It was like a bunch of versions of Stash and Manteca like appended onto one another, and then I heard another version of Stash and Manteca right after, and I was able to pick apart some of the broader differences, and when it came to some of the details, a lot of it gets muddled. I think for me, oftentimes I'm a very visual person. Also, a listener, I very much rely on my ears to tell me what I'm experiencing, but if I can see the transcription of the notes, side by side as Trey plays them, as Paige plays them, as any of the members plays them, it would be easier to make those kind of comparisons. But that's also the thing, because they are very quick to modify the structures of their songs, even if they are performing the same track. This Bathtub Gin is going to be different than the next one, not only melodically and in terms of the microscopic phrasing, but structurally too. So then you have to do this kind of weird jagged matching to easily kind of hold constant the sections that are I guess comparable across the versions. And this is just my my researcher brain doing the over-analysis, doing the overthinking. I don't know how many of you guys go down this route when you think about Phish and how their performances kind of speak to you. Because I'd imagine, as we've gotten to know each other, we definitely have some similarities in terms of the way we process music and just auditory information and just art in general. And I've gone back and forth with you guys in the comments and via email too, talking about how we appreciate Phish and what about their style is, jumps out at us in any given moment. Let me know if this kind of thought process or analysis ever occurs to you, whether it's subconscious or conscious. I guess I'm now bringing it to the forefront here. What a crazy good song. Truly, to evolve a riff over the course of 24 minutes and for it to not get stale the entire way through because of how much creative rope they seem to have, it's just an endless supply, will never not be impressive to me. You guys know where I stand with Phish. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Hope you all enjoyed the reaction today. As always, if you want to request more Phish yourself, the link is in the description box below. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.